Hi, my name is Sundaresh. Now we are going to learn about exhaust emissions. While the engine is running, combustion takes place inside the engine to produce power. Combustion requires three things: oxygen, carbon, fire. Fuel contains hydrogen and carbon, called hydrocarbons. Air contains oxygen, fire. During combustion, chemical reaction takes place and produces byproducts as a result called as emissions. The complete combustion of fuel creates carbon dioxide, water vapor, nitrogen, inert gases. These are non-pollutant emissions. But improper air-fuel ratio and incomplete combustion, pollutant emissions will come. The reduction in automotive emission provides cleaner air to breathe, reduces health hazards such as respiratory diseases. Automotive emissions mainly pollute air. Being a technician, you should understand the types of vehicle pollutants, allowable standards for these pollutants, how each automotive emission control device operates to reduce harmful emissions. The term exhaust refers to any gas that comes out of the engine as a byproduct of combustion. In this phase, contaminants such as soot, lead from valve lubricant, and sulfur from fuel can also collect. These contaminants can then be released into the air when the engine is warmed up again or driven at high speeds. Now we are going to learn what are all the engine emissions and how to check the emissions and the effects of engine emissions.
At the end of this demonstration, you will be able to tell about the engine emissions. Check engine emissions. Explain the effects of engine emissions. Tools required. Trainee's toolkit. Equipment required. A vehicle in running condition. Exhaust gas analyzer. Smoke meter. Materials required. Soft cloth. Vehicle emissions have been regulated since 1960s. Do you know how air gets polluted? By photochemical smog, a word from smoke and fog. It appears as a light brown haze, like fog, in the air. What is photochemical smog? It is formed by the reaction of sunlight with Hc and NOx in the atmosphere. The problem of exhaust emissions is one that has been around for many years. With the advent of the internal combustion engine, vehicles have been emitting harmful pollutants into the atmosphere. These pollutants can cause a number of problems, including smog, acid rain, and climate change. Hc means hydrocarbon. NOx means nitrogen oxide. How does photochemical smog affect air? Ozone contains 3 oxygen atoms, O3. The main cause for the production of these gases is automobile emissions, which contain carbon monoxide and hydrocarbons. These two components react in the atmosphere with sunlight to form ozone, O3, which is not good for our lungs when we breathe it in. Ozone is formed from oxygen molecules which consist of one atom each of oxygen. It occurs naturally in the upper atmosphere. It serves to prevent harmful ultraviolet rays given off by the sun from reaching the earth. Air pollution. Hot air near the ground usually rises and is then cooled by cooler air at higher altitude. This action usually clears smog from the air at ground level. Like metropolitan area or valley, the warm air may be trapped by an inversion layer that tends to hang over the area. When this action occurs, the smog is trapped near the ground and the smog becomes more concentrated because it does not escape. Smog is known to aggravate lung conditions such as asthma. The sources of air pollution are automotive, industry, homes, oil exploration, airplanes. The main polluted emissions are unburned HC, hydrocarbon, CO, carbon monoxide, NOx, nitrogen oxide, particulate matter, concerned with diesel vehicles. The non-pollutant emissions are CO2, carbon dioxide, O2, oxygen. Now, we are going to learn how to check these vehicle pollution. The exhaust from the petrol engines contains carbon monoxide, CO, carbon dioxide, CO2, fuel-dependent hydrocarbons, HC, oxygen, O2, and nitric oxide, NOx. Similarly, the diesel engine contains carbon monoxide, CO, unburned hydrocarbon, HC, and particulate matter. The petrol engine exhaust smoke can be measured with exhaust gas analyzer, and diesel engine exhaust gases can be measured with smoke meter. The smoke meter measures the amount of black carbon particulates in diesel exhaust, which is a good indicator as to how much fuel is being burned during combustion. The higher level of soot in an engine's exhaust, the better it is burning its fuel. Read on for more information about diesel smoke meters and how they can be used to reduce emissions by reducing excessive fuel consumption due to poor combustion. 5-gas analyzer can be used both petrol and diesel to propane and natural gas engines. Gas analyzer or smoke meter needs a computer system with related software, a camera for taking photo of the vehicle nameplate, and a sample probe. After switching on the computer, connect the sample probe in the exhaust tailpipe. Start the engine and run at idle speed. The gas analyzer senses the gases in the exhaust gas and finally it gives a report. For example, the values of HC, O2, NOx and CO values are given. Finally, print the values obtained. Refer this value with the government norms. BS standards. Suppose the vehicle emission is not up to the limit based on the standards, then rectify the problem in the vehicle and again check the emission level. Now, let us see the problems for incorrect levels. High HC is caused by an excessive amount of unburned fuel. This can be due to a misfire caused by an ignition system or mechanical problem. The following are the reasons for increasing HC level. Ignition problems. Not enough air. Incorrect air-fuel ratio. Too much air. Carbon monoxide, CO, should be carbon dioxide, CO2, but there is not enough O2. The main reason is rich air-fuel mixture. CO2 is the good indication of proper burning of air-fuel mixture. NOx forms when the engine is running with high temperatures. EGR and catalytic converter problems are the reasons for high NOx.
Till now, we have learned about the engine emissions checking the engine emissions and the reasons for the high levels of pollutant gases. The government periodically releases the Bharat standard levels. From April 2020, BS6 levels are followed. Depends upon the manufacturing year, the Bharat standard levels can be decided. If the burning inside the engine is complete, then the exhaust gas have CO2 and H2O. But due to the incomplete combustion, CO, HC and NOx gases will be formed. These gases can be cured by various emissions control devices like EVAP emission control system, positive crankcase ventilation, exhaust gas recirculation and catalytic converter. Due to incomplete combustion, the engine oil will also become black. The soot particles gets deposited on the cylinder walls and eventually clogging up the tiny oil channels in there, making it harder for oil to flow freely around the engine. This leads to higher oil consumption as more oil is needed to lubricate the engine. This problem can be solved by using a fuel additive like STIR+, which has special additives that helps reduce engine knocking and increase engine performance when used. If any problems with the exhaust gases emissions, check the emission control devices and correct the problem. Hope you have clear on this. Carry out the emission testing with the gas analyzer and the smoke meter. Obtain the readings and compare with the standards. If the readings are beyond the standard limits, then check emission control devices.